You need to pay this debt now, sir. Oh, do I? Because I have zero intention of paying this debt. They thought they could use my number to escape the consequences of their own mess. What they didn't know was that I'd turn every call into a delicious slice of karma with just one sentence. If you've ever been betrayed by someone who treated your kindness like a weakness, this story is for you. Hit that like button, subscribe if you love seeing justice served, and get ready for one of the most strangely satisfying revenge stories you'll hear today. A few years ago, I needed a roommate to help cover rent. That's how Travis entered my life. He was a mutual friend of a friend, easygoing, laid back, with a just-left-a-band vibe. A little flaky but harmless, or so I thought. The first few weeks were okay. He paid late, but he paid. Kept to himself. We'd share a drink on the balcony and vent about work. But then things started slipping. Dishes piled up. The bathroom, a war zone. And his rent, always coming tomorrow. I ended up covering most of the bills, while Travis played video games and recharged his mental health. I gave him the benefit of the doubt over and over, but that doubt kept costing me. The final straw? I came home to 3 strangers lounging in our living room, smoking and laughing at the TV, and Travis wasn't even there. I snapped. I told him flat out, pay rent, clean up, or leave. He said I was controlling, and a week later he was gone. No apology, no final payment, just gone. I was angry, but at least I thought it was over. I had no idea the real revenge had just begun. A few weeks later, the call started. Hi, this is Capital Credit Services. Is Travis available? Sorry, wrong number. Click. Next day, another call. Then another, and another. Different agencies, different banks, all asking for Travis. Something clicked. I scrolled back through old messages, and there it was. A text I sent a year ago, giving Travis my number after he lost his phone. He'd used my phone number on all his credit applications. First, I panicked. What if they linked me to his debts? What if this hurt my credit? I locked down everything, froze reports, monitored my accounts. Thankfully, Travis was too dumb for identity theft. He'd just handed out my number as his own. Coward. But I wasn't going to let his mess keep ruining my peace. That's when I came up with my line. Next time the phone rang, I answered calmly. Hi. We're calling about an outstanding balance owed by Travis. I have zero intention of paying that debt. Silence. Sir, are you? Nope, not him. But good luck collecting. You may have to sue. Click. That became my new routine. Every call I'd hit him with a variation. Not my problem. He moved to another galaxy. Try under a bridge marked bad decisions. It was beautiful. What Travis didn't know is that by giving them my number, he turned me into his worst nightmare. I became his unofficial spokesperson, the voice of his financial failures. Every call dragged his past back into the light. And every time I said, I have zero intention of paying, I imagined him sweating somewhere, wondering why the heat wouldn't stop. Eventually, the calls slowed down. Maybe they found him. Maybe they gave up. But the final twist? One collector left a message that said, "Thanks for the help. We finally tracked him down." I didn't say a word, but I smiled. Because karma, she's got good aim. And sometimes, she wears a headset. Travis thought he could run. Thought he could use me as his shield. But he gave the sharks my number, and I just pointed them toward the bleeding. He made my life miserable? Nah. He made his own life a circus, and I got a front row seat. All I had to do was pick up the phone. Revenge doesn't always have to be loud. Sometimes it's calm, patient, and it waits for the consequences to catch up on someone else's dime. If the story gave you chills or made you laugh, smash that like button. And tell us in the comments, what's the pettiest or most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? Make sure to subscribe. We've got more wild Reddit revenge stories headed your way. Until next time, don't let freeloaders live rent-free in your life or your voicemail.